What's going on, everybody? My name is Bendy, and this is Disney Heroes. So today, we just got the update for patch notes 3.1.10. So I wanted to try and do something a little bit different today. And I'm going to do a before and after comparison of Shank's stats and how her skills got changed and everything like that. We're going to take a close look at all the changes that Shank got in her rework, and we're just going to see how much better she seems to have gotten, and maybe at the end of the video we'll test her out as well in some like arena fights or something like that. So if you guys like my content, if you guys like what I'm doing, definitely give me a like, subscribe, comment. I would hugely appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I want to get there sooner than later, so if you want to help me out, subscribing will really help me out more than you could ever really imagine. So thank you guys so much for anybody that subscribes. I really appreciate it. Alright, so let's get into it. I'll give you guys a little spoiler. It's not actually update day yet. It's Monday as I record this, and I'm gonna show you guys pre-update Shank. So this is my Shank right here. She is currently Red 14, 2.5 million power. I'm gonna write down some of these stats as I read them, just so I can take notes for myself. But let's take a look at what we got here. So right now, as I said, my Shank is Red 14, she's about 2.5 million power. I got all of her skills maxed out. Her red skill is currently at level 45, so that means 165, so not a super ridiculous red skill right now for me. But as you can see from the stats, she has a pretty ridiculous amount of armor. Looks like about 5.2 million armor, just doing some rough math on that. So she has a shit ton of armor. It's mostly just due to the fact that I gave her 2 purple mods that are both at plus 30, so she has plus 60 on her purple skill right now, which is just what gives her a whole bunch of armor. So that's why my Shank has a whole bunch of armor. I think it said in the patch notes that the refresh is going to give this even more armor from this purple skill, so that is very cool. I know she is going to be negating more damage from this passive here, and a few other little changes here and there. It's mainly just the crit negation, or just the damage negation and the crit negation, and just more armor in general on Shank, and she's also going to get distract. So that's mainly what's going to be changing, but let's take a little bit of a look at what she has right now. So right now, like I said, she has 5.2 million armor, so I'm definitely going to take a look at that after the update to see how much more armor she gets, or just the difference in armor right there. And just so you guys know, after I record this and then redo the recording tomorrow or Wednesday or whenever I do the rest of this video, I'm not going to do anything at all to my Shank. I'm not going to touch her, so the power that you see now is going to be exactly the same as whatever it translates to when the update happens. She has about a little over 100,000 basic damage, which I don't think is super crazy for her. She's got about 200,000 skill power for me. Max HP, I feel like her max HP is going to go up. It's got to, right? Didn't it say max HP was going up? So right now she has, I want to say about 4 million max HP. I'll just round up. I think they said they were going to give her more skill power too. So she has about 200,000 skill power. I'm just writing this down as I go here. And then I don't really know what else she's going to get. I'll write down the crit damage and stuff also. I feel like those might be some stuff that changes, so I will check that out as well. Alright, so that's that. And now, as we see right now, the passive, it currently negates up to about 160,000 damage from each attack against her and stores 50% of the damage negated. She can store a maximum of about 1.75 million damage right now. So I'm pretty sure they are raising the amount of negation that she gets from attacks from this passive. So I guess I will write that down as well, so we have it. And she can store a maximum of 1.75 million damage. And it does 50%, just so I have it, then I know. And then I'm pretty sure the car is also going to be dealing more damage. So currently right now it does about 600,000 damage. Alright, so that's the white skill. The green skill, when Shank drops to 50% of her max HP, she grants her teammates skill power for the rest of the wave. I think they're going to raise that as well, so let's write that down too. So she currently grants about 650,000 skill power, and then we'll move on to the blue skill, Piston Slam, with an elbow slam, causing them to take a little over 1 million damage over 8 seconds. Oh, this is a damage over time. I never knew that, actually. Shank also heals for 50% of the damage done by Piston Slam. I'm going to write down the amount of healing also because I feel like they said they were going to raise that as well. And then the purple skill just gives her armor. I believe this is also the skill that they were going to give her distract for. I can't remember. But right now she gains, I'll just round down to 4 million armor. So we'll check out how much my Shank has for armor with this skill afterwards as well. So right now she has 4 million armor. And then from the red skill, she negates 35% more damage against normal damage attacks. So we'll see if that changes. And then also Shank and her allies take 60% less damage from crits. From normal crits, I should say. And then right now she gets more max HP, more armor, and max damage storage from Final Lap. I'm not going to write that down. I don't think that's really worthwhile to write down. So that is that. And then we also have her friend discs. The Vanellope one is the one that I use. So I'm definitely going to take note of that. So right now, allies gain armor equal to 40% of Shank's armor. So I think they said they were increasing that. So she shares 40% armor right now at max stars. And then she also gets basic damage and armor from the level on the other side. I don't think I'm really going to write that down. But anyway, so that's the Vanellope disc. And then this one, I think they were changing this one a little bit more than the other one. I think this one was going to stay mostly the same as how it is right now. This one I think they were pretty much making completely different. So right now it's not at max. I'm guessing when it's at max it probably goes to like, I don't know, 40 or 50% or something like that. So I'm going to just write that down just as a rough estimate. And then on the level side it says that she gets more damage negated by Final Lap. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the before of Shank. I went through everything pretty much. This is what my mods look like right now. She gets about 300,000 armor from this one, another 300,000 from this one, then she has 2 plus 30 purple skills as well. So that is pretty much what my Shank looks like right now. This is the before the update, so I will see you guys tomorrow after the update.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee.
You fed my wife this garbage? Huh? This burger juice? How dare you? The day after our wedding.
Alright, we are back. It is now the next day. I just loaded up the game for the first time after the update, so I'm definitely pretty excited to check out how my Shank is. Let's just get right on into it. And before I continue, just so you know, it's thundering outside, so if you hear some weird bangs and whatever, it's just thunder outside, so kind of rainy and shitty out right now. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but anyways, so let's check this out. Shank. Ooh, it looks like she went up about 100,000 in power, or actually 200,000. That's cool, just off the cuff. I didn't want to click on Magica, excuse me. Alright, so she went up about 200,000 in power, and just so you guys know, I haven't done anything since that first half of the video, haven't touched my Shank a single time.
That's what she said!
So all these stat changes that you see are literally just from the update, and that's it, so just so you guys know. So anyways, yeah, so she went up 200,000 power, like I said, pretty cool. Let's see what her armor is at. Her armor is now, ooh, way more ridiculous. Okay, so now she has, it looks like her base armor was about the same as what it was before. I wrote down that it was 5.2 million armor total, and we can see she clearly has a lot more than that now, so she has a way more armor, so that's cool. Definitely at least like 4 million more armor. I think it's close to, yeah, it looks, I think she's got like 10 million armor now, so she pretty much doubled in armor just off of that. But that also has to do with the fact that I gave her plus 60 of her purple skill, so that has that. But it looks like she's got quite a lot more armor. So let's see, what did she have? She had 4 million armor before, but now she's got 5 million just from the mods alone that I gave her. So very cool. She went up a ton of armor, which is nice. I like that a lot. I think that'll definitely help her with being able to actually tank against all of the normal damage like she's supposed to. So I think that'll be a very good thing. And as we can see, she also distracts now with her purple skill, and she negates 15% normal damage with Final Lap while she is distracting enemies. Alright, but anyways, let's go in order here, so I'm not skipping around too much, but let's see what other stats we got here. So it looks like she now has 12 million HP, whereas yesterday when I recorded, she had 4 million HP, so she like tripled in HP. Her skill power doubled as well, because she has 420. Nice. Yesterday, when I recorded, she had 200,000 skill power, so she doubled in skill power. She almost tripled in basic damage too, because she had 100,000 basic damage before the update, and now she's got about 275,000 with these, whatever green is. I can't remember what green is off the top of my head right now. Alright, so there's that. And then I also wrote down her normal crit, which stayed the same. Normal crit didn't change at all, neither did crit damage or tenacity. So all three of those stayed exactly the same. I didn't write down what her reality was. I feel like that was roughly what it was though. But yeah, so she's got way more armor, way more HP, and way more basic damage and skill power, but everything else pretty much stayed the same, it looks like, on the stats page. But yeah, the armor and the max HP is definitely huge. So let's look at the stats, or the skills now. So now she negates up to close to 400,000 from her passive white skill, which is little more than double what it was before, because it was 160,000, and then she can store a maximum of about 5 million now, whereas before it was 1.75 million. That's pretty close to like triple the amount of storage now, so that's really nice. It still stores 50% of the damage negated. I thought that was going to go up, but I guess it's somewhere else that it goes up. And now the car deals 2.7 or so million damage, whereas before the update it dealt only 600,000. So it does like quadruple the damage now, so maybe it'll actually do something now, so that's really nice. Because I feel like I said in the first half of the video, that it seems like the car does like literally no damage, so that's pretty nice. So she's got pretty significant stat boost from this rework, which is really sick. Alright, so her green skill, Toughen Up. When Shank reaches 50% of her max HP, she grants herself and allies 2.5 million additional skill power. So before, it was 650,000. So now, she's giving like triple or quadruple or something like that. I'm not doing exact math here, I'm just going off the top of my head. The amount of skill power to her team, so that's really nice. And then she also grants herself 2.6 million armor for 15 seconds. Did it even do that before? I don't think it did that before. So this is the new additional thing. So she gives herself armor also and distracts for 10 seconds. That's the new part of the skill, so that's pretty sick. I mean, any amount of armor that Shank can get is really nice. Now I wonder if this is every single time Shank reaches 50% of her max HP, or if it only happens once per wave. I imagine it's every single time she goes below 50% of her max HP, so it seems like she's just going to be giving herself armor and distracting constantly throughout the wave, so that's really nice. But anyways, so that is that. So she is pretty much giving her team like triple or quadruple the amount of skill power that she was before. Now her blue skill, it looks like the Piston Slam does 8.3 million damage, plus 80% of her armor as damage over 9 seconds. So what it was before was 1 million damage, so this goes up a shit ton of damage. Wow. Before the update, it was about 1 million damage done with the Piston Slam. So this has like 8 times the damage now. So that's pretty crazy. So this will actually do quite a bit of damage now, I think. So that's pretty nice. And she also heals for 70% of the damage done by Piston Slam now, whereas before it was 50%. Plus, the amount of damage that she does is 80% of her armor, which I don't think was a part of the skill before, so that's also pretty sweet. So this Piston Slam is actually pretty strong now. And we already talked about the purple skill, so let's move on to the red skill. It looks like the red skill is pretty much identical to what it was before. Final Lap negates 35% more damage. That is exactly the same as what it was. Shank and her allies take 65% less damage from normal crits, whereas before it was 60, so it goes up 5%, so it's a little bit more damage negation, so that's nice. When an enemy normal crits Shank, her armor is increased by an amount for the rest of the wave, up to 170,000 armor. My red skill isn't crazy high yet, but I imagine once I get this up a little bit higher, because I'm definitely going to be continuing to work on Shank now, because I definitely feel like, based on what we see here on this refresh, that she's going to be quite good. I don't know if she's going to be like top of the meta or anything, but I feel like she might move up to maybe balanced at this point on my next tier list, but we'll have to discuss that. I would definitely pull up some Arena or Coliseum or something like that and throw Shank in there against a team and see how she does, and we're going to do that next, but I want to finish going through the rest of her stats here. But the red skill looks basically the same. It negates 5% more damage than it did before, but other than that, everything else looks pretty much identical to what it was before. Alright, let's look at the friend discs. First, I'm going to look at the one that I actually use. Allies gain armor equal to 75% of Shank's armor now. Before, it was only 40. So she gives away almost double the amount of armor that she did before. And now, every 3 times Shank is damaged by a basic attack, the remaining cooldown of Piston Slam is decreased by 2 seconds. So now she's going to be able to get off Piston Slam way more often, which seems to be her big damage dealer. So that is pretty huge. I need to level up Vanellope a little bit so I can level this thing up more. I never wrote down what these stats were, but they look roughly the same as what they were before. The sharing 75% of armor is almost double what it was before, so that's crazy. And then on the Elastigirl disc, we get plus 16% energy gain in general on Shank. If enemies are distracted by Shank or one of her allies when they are damaged by Final Lap, they are stunned for 4 seconds. So now she stuns. Now Shank can stun, which I don't think she had stun before, so she's getting stunned now for the first time, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, this Vanellope disc is huge now. Definitely worthwhile, I think, to max out the stars for if you plan on working on Shank now that she's got refreshed. So this friend disc is really good now, I think. So let's go into some arena fights, and we're going to test out some Shank real quick before I end the video. I hope you guys enjoy this little format. I'm trying something a little bit different here. Maybe if for future refreshes, I'll kind of do the same thing. I think it's pretty interesting to see the comparison of how a hero was before the refresh compared to what they are now. I kind of wish I had done that with Mim. I wanted to do this for Shank because she's probably like one of the first heroes that got a refresh that I ever actually had kind of powered up. Usually all the other refreshes are just on heroes that I don't really care about. So Shank is like the first one that I actually like, that I was actually excited for the refresh for. Other than Mim, I was pretty excited about the Mim refresh also, especially after reading what the Mim refresh was. But yeah, Mim got significantly better. I think Shank is going to be significantly better now too, but let's check it out. I need somebody that actually has some normal damage and is kind of tough. Alright, let's fight Super Callie here. So, I want to do... Hey, excuse me, I said X. Alright, we're going to do Shank. I want to do Ian because Ian's going to kind of counter Cheshire a little bit. I'll do Tron to help against Beast and also give Hardy for the Elsa. Actually, I don't want to do Nick because I don't think it'll give us a good representation of how good Shank is. Do Mim, and we'll do Dash. Let's try this. Yeah, so it kind of looks like the new Shank pretty much makes Mulan do like nothing. Because I always used Shank before. That was kind of the reason I powered her up, as like a backup counter to Mulan. So I feel like Shank can now actually counter Mulan pretty well. So that seems pretty helpful. And she's also going to be very good against Dash too. So, and probably Darkwing Duck, but I guess we'll see. Let's do Jin. I'm trying to gauge like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of tough because it's week 1 of Arena, so kind of tough to tell, but I mean, so far, it seems like these teams are like barely doing damage to me, so let's see how she is against a Dash. How about that? Alright, this is a 16 million team, so this is actually kind of a tough team, so let's see how she does. Ooh, yeah. This is nice. Okay. I think that was a better representation. So let's get rid of Jim and Pleakley in here maybe. Yeah, Shank, it seems like, because I don't think Shank would have been able to defend quite that well before the refresh. So, especially against the Dash. But yeah, I mean, she seems way better. Not gonna lie. And everybody else is kind of low, huh? Alright, I'm gonna fight the other two. These are gonna be super easy, but I'll fight them anyways. And then I'm going to end the video right there. So yeah, that is the comparison of before and after for Shank. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I thought this would be kind of an interesting video to show just the comparison of how Shank was before the refresh and after. Obviously I need to do a little bit more testing and stuff, but just off the first couple fights here, she seems way better. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm definitely going to be using her a lot more in my upcoming videos, especially for my upcoming Arena Coliseum videos and probably some war fights too. But yeah, so I think that's going to be it. I am now in first place in Arena. Definitely give me a like, subscribe, comment if you guys enjoyed this video. I have an idea for a video that I kind of want to make that's also going to be a little bit different. Let me know down below if you got this far into the video. What are some changes that you want to see in this game just in general? It could be very minor, like bug fix type of thing, or like a total major change, anything at all. So I had one thing I was just thinking about now where Coraline and I kind of want to see Codebase get a quick fight. because right now you have to fight manually in Codebase, and it's kind of annoying because it takes forever. So that's just kind of one minor thing that we want to see in this game. So if you guys have any other just random little things like that, let me know down below, because I'm planning on making a video. I'm thinking just like 10 changes that we want to see in the game. So maybe somebody in Purple will see it and it'll be implemented at some point soon. So definitely drop a comment if you made it this far into the video, letting me know what kind of changes you want to see. That's going to be it. Peace. Tron is almost 3 million. Holy shit.
Evil Queen is now the new background for the really good category.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck them all.
I love poo.